Welcome to the Sales Process Podcast, the show for business owners and sales pros who are ready to push past limits and take their sales to the next level. Hosted by Shawn Derrick, founder of Legacy Sales Engineering. This podcast is built for high performers who demand more wins, more deals, more profit. We're diving into hard-hitting strategies, real-world tactics, and the latest tech to keep you at the top of your game. Plus interviews with elite sales pros to give you the edge you need. If you're serious about dominating your market, it's time. Sit down. Hold on. Let's go.
AI versus automation, what the heck is the difference and what do they mean? My name is Shawn Derrick with Legacy Sales Engineering. I want to welcome you to this episode of the Sales Process Podcast. Each week we dive into different sales tips and automation secrets that are going to help your business grow. And I can't wait to get into this one with you. It's going to be fun. So let's get to it. Before we dive too deep, if you get anything out of this episode, if you get any nuggets, you learn anything, and you want to just go a little bit deeper, get a little bit more involved, and understand this stuff more, I would love to invite you to my online community, Legacy Builders, where each week we have 2 calls. We dive into sales topics, we're diving into automation, go high level secrets, how to actually implement and make these things work in your business twice a week live. You get one on one access. It's really great. Well, one on one's probably not accurate. It's group access, but it's pretty intimate. You get to ask questions, and we actually deploy things and do things in your systems for you in your business to help you move the needle. So would love to have you there. Check us out at jointhelb.com and get a part of that community. We'd love to see you. So what is the difference between having an AI appointment setter that books appointments for you 24/7 versus implementing some automation and some process in your business? What does that mean? So couple of big differences. So an AI appointment setter is actually going to have some level of intelligence and smart decision making abilities to it. It can analyze things, it can craft responses and actually give outputs tailored to the specific input that it was given. And so a good example here might be like a live chat bot that you can actually call, ask questions, and the AI is going to think about an answer and then verbally give a response. That's an AI voice receptionist, AI appointment setter. All right. They're conversational and they're reactive. They actually listen and then react to what they were listening to and give intelligent response. And so actually want to give you an opportunity to check out a live AI appointment setter. If you've never seen one before, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can call and talk to our AI appointment setter live. Going to try to set an appointment to book with me. If you'd love to book, you can, no pressure, but you can call 352-268-9481 and you can talk to an appointment setter and basically give them a hard time, talk to them, see if you can stomp them. You might, but they're not perfect. There are limitations to AI appointment setters and conversational chatbots, and that limitation is the information that you give it. And so the way that these products work is you're going to feed it information and it's going to leverage that database that you allow it to grow to answer your client's questions. You can tie AI appointment setters to a calendar and give them goals to say, hey, your goal is to get these questions answered and then book this appointment here. Or your goal is to ask these questions and then transfer the call here. You can set up a lot of those target metrics that you want to achieve and customize those to your businesses with AI. The difference between AI and automation is typically a fixed output. It's not analyzing and making decisions based on the input that you're using it or that you're giving it. And so an automation is designed typically to take care of repetitive tasks, repetitive things in your business that you do over and over and over again. It helps create efficiency in your business so that you don't have to have a person send out that text message every time an appointment's booked, thanking somebody for booking an appointment. You don't have to have somebody manually send that contract that the customer just signed over to the finance company. You can automate those processes. Now, the difference here is that there are instances that you can tie automation and AI together and leverage them to work together with different tools. And there's a lot of tools out there. Probably one of the most popular one that you everyone's heard of is Zapier. But there's a couple of newer ones that are even a little bit more robust than that. N8N is one of the ones that comes to mind. Very, very powerful tool that is almost limitless on how you can tie AI and automation together. It's really just about your technical skill and your imagination. And so there's a lot you can do with AI tools and automation together. Another example of a standalone AI product might be a conversational chat bot that just does text and email. And so there are chatbots out there that you can, again, you can train the chatbot on your database. You can give it access to your calendar, and it will respond to your text messages, your Facebook messages, your comments on Pinterest, your AI. It can give AI responses to your Google reviews. There's a lot of ways that you can leverage conversational chatbots in your business to move the needle in your sales process and get that customer either closer to the yes or to really shine after you've committed to doing business with them and really help you communicate well and stay on top of your projects well. So highly, highly recommend in every business, you really need to be leveraging these products that are available to you now to make your life easier. And so when do you leverage those products? When is it appropriate to have an AI chatbot, an AI receptionist? When do you set up the automations and utilize those things? So the answer is that those answers are pretty unique to you and your company, your sales process, and your client. What's your client's level of tolerance for AI today is a very important question that we need to be asking our business owners or ourselves as business owners. And so what does that mean? Well, every client is going to be a little bit more or less receptive to artificial intelligence than the next. And typically you're going to break that up into age demographic and geography, I would imagine. And so I would imagine that your people who are in denser, more suburban areas and are younger are going to be a little bit more receptive to talking to an AI receptionist to book an appointment. Whereas your older clientele in a more rural area are probably going to be your most resistance. And so, you've got all kinds of people out there on the chart that you need to figure out for my business what works. Now, the second part of that is that you can implement some AI without going full force. And let me give you an example. So we have got a client who, the phone rings, it goes into a virtual recording. It's not a conversational chat bot. It's just a recorded message, interactive virtual receptionist, IVR system. And it says, "Hey, thanks for calling. If you'd like to talk to our 24/7 virtual receptionist, press 1. If you'd like to be transferred to a team member, press 2." And so when we're running Google ads for that client at 10 o'clock at night and someone clicks on that ad, and for whatever reason they think that somebody's going to pick up the phone at 10 p.m., at bare minimum, we have an opportunity to convert that appointment. The other option that you have is you don't want to give them the option. You just want your phone to ring. And if you can pick it up, you're happy to talk to them. If you can't pick it up, let's let the robots do that. All right. And so you've got failover options now where you can say, "Hey, if my phone rings for 15 seconds, I want the receptionist to pick it up." And that can happen. And so you get some control and some ability to dictate what your client's level of comfort is with AI today, and that comfort level is going to continue to change. It's going to continue to be less resistive as time progresses. People are going to get more comfortable with artificial intelligence because the adoption rate is going to continue to increase. This is not going away, guys. It's here to stay. And if you don't adopt it, your competitors, they're going to adopt it. And the competitors that and the businesses that start to adopt some of these things and implement some of these things in their business, well, guess what? They've got robots that do the equivalent of 10, 15, 20 employees. Do you think they're going to be able to offer their services at a little bit more of a competitive rate than you are? Of course. And they're probably going to be making more money at a higher margin because they don't have as large of a payroll as you. And so they're able to take more of that income to the bottom line and produce at a lower cost. So you have got to start figuring out how to create some of this efficiency in your business with AI. And then the second part of that is with automation, which is not a new thing. This has been here for a really long time. But what we find is that the small to medium sized business doesn't typically have the depth of knowledge or the awareness to some of these products, and so they're usually the last to adopt it. And there's a lot of small businesses, medium-sized businesses now that are just now coming into a place that they have financial access and knowledge-based access to these products, and it's really, really starting to change how small and medium businesses operate because again, your competitors are starting to automate and create efficiency in their business so they can be more competitive and offer more value at a lower price and a higher margin. It's really, really important to understand these things and start to implement them into your business. So, your goals when you're using AI should typically be when you're trying to either book an appointment or provide support to a client. All right. So, like, you could train your AI too on your support knowledge base and give it all the information to all the questions and let it have a conversation with your client when they call and say, hey, this isn't working. How do I fix it? Well, if you've got a 2,000 page doc on your website, you can give your bot access to that help doc and it will go find the answer to that question in real time and convey that to your client voice or text. It'll help them. Um, so booking and support are really where AI conversational chatbots really shine today. AI and automation, again, when you're trying to streamline processes. All right. I typically don't recommend people trying to implement automation too soon in their business because, and I'm super guilty of this. I learned this one the hard way. What typically happens as you start to automate things, if you're too early in business, you think, oh man, I have got the perfect process to solve this problem. This is exactly how it needs to be done. It's going to work. You spend all this time automating it, building in all the automated communication points and touch points and sending data all the places data needs to be sent. And you get 2 weeks in and you realize, crap, none of this works. This process sucks and I'm going to have to change it. And now you've spent all this time building this beautiful automation sequence that's changing. It's not applicable anymore. So figure out your process, figure out what works and how it's going to apply to your business, how it helps your client, make sure it's scalable, and then automate it. Then start to create efficiencies inside of that process. Make sure you're not automating something that's broken. So the other thing you can use automation for in your sales process is to stay top of mind. This is a great way to keep those clients reminded that you exist that have already done business for you or that have already come into your funnel. A automated email sequence that sends them an email once a month that says, "Hey, we're still here. Here's how we add value to your life." A service reminder after they did last year's service. Maybe you've got an annual service and every time somebody buys a product for your annual maintenance service, they should go into an automation that automatically reaches out to them at month 11 and just says, "Hey, we're here still. We'd love to help you this year. You're just about due for your product service again. When's a good time for us to come back out?" Automate that rebooking so you don't have to have somebody from the office sitting there pounding dials all day long trying to get a hold of those customers. Make it simple to get back in touch with you and to re-engage with you. And the final way that you should be using automation in your sales process is through lead reactivation to re-engage your old leads. If once they've cooled off, they've got no activity, automate them into a new sequence. We've got tools where we can say, hey, a lead's come into the system. It's ran through all of our intro sequences. We've automated and said, hey, we're here. This is how we can help you. Hey, don't forget about us. We'd love to help you. You get a couple weeks out on your intro automation sequence and we'll let that lead cool back down and we've got a second automation trigger that once a lead has cooled down and nothing's happened for 6 months, we call it a cold lead reactivation. And there's a second sequence that picks that up and re-engages that lead and just says, "Hey, it's been a while. How you doing?" And so you can really make a big impact and get a lot out of your database by just relentlessly automating your outreach and your touch points and your follow up. Make sure those things exist in your sales process, because eventually you're going to be too busy to do it all. Eventually, you're not going to be able to be personable and call every person and touch every contact and hit 15 different touch points before they say yes. Eventually, those things are going to start to fall through the cracks. And before you know it, it's not one deal that's fallen through the cracks. It's 3 deals, 4 deals, 7 deals. And before you know it, you're leaking all kinds of profit because you just can't keep your hands on the wheel hard enough to keep it on the tracks. So you've got to start thinking about these things before they're a problem. Because if you wait too long, if you wait until it's out of control, it can be really, really hard to get it back on the rails and still survive. So don't wait to start creating some of these efficiencies, create some of these automations, these AI engagements. Let technology help you in a world that is technology rich. There's no reason that you shouldn't be driving your business with it and letting it make your life easier. Your weekend doesn't have to suck. You don't have to be sitting on your phone all weekend. There's tools that can help pick up the slack when you're not around, when your team's not available, that can help you engage in that. So I hope this has helped you. I hope it's encouraged you to dip your toe in and say, hey, you know what? I really do need to figure this out. Sean's right. You've got to get off the bench on the AI, the automation stuff. It's going to be super important for the health of your business, the health of your sales process moving forward. So if you don't know where to start, if you're like, bro, this sounds great, but I don't know nothing about nothing, what do I do? I'd love to be a resource for you. Check out jointhelb.com. We spend a lot of time talking about AI and automation processes in our mastermind group twice a week, 2 live calls, a bunch of recorded classes on there. And the value there is, I hope, pretty good. We've got a lot of guys that have been with us for a while, and it's been really impactful for their businesses. I know it will be for yours too. So come join us. We'd love to teach you how to implement these things and actually make them happen in your business and really plow the field together. So thanks for being here. I hope this has been helpful. Go sell something.
This episode of the Sales Process Podcast has been sponsored by Legacy Sales Engineering, helping you sell great products with a great sales process. Visit www.legacysaleseng.com to discover your solution for every step of your business sales process. Subscribe to the Sales Process Podcast on your platform of choice today.